Now, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but if somebody were to make a life-size replica of Bill Clinton entirely out of margarine, WD-40, and banana peels, it would still be less slippery than the original. Many people thought that Bill Clinton's first election to the presidency was a sign that character was no longer an issue in choosing the leader of this country. It had been established that he dodged the draft, smoked pot, and his marital vows contained all the fidelity of a Kenner close-in play. In other words, he's most people. Talk about being judged by a jury of your peers. We find him guilty and we sentence him to 8 years in a federal institution. It's easy to joke about Bill Clinton as an aw-shucks hillbilly. Hell, I've been skipping to that well for half a decade now. And while that's not entirely inaccurate as a portrayal, it's as representative of the total Clinton package as Octopus's Garden is of Abbey Road. For while on the one groping hand he might appear to be a mouth-breathing hick, on the other he is more adept at slinging bullshit than a street sweeper in Pamplona. Bill Clinton treats the truth like your mom treats the good china. There's never an occasion special enough to actually use it, although you can take it out and look at it once in a while. Now, putting aside my personal distaste for a moment, let me say that I do believe our president is a compassionate man. Unfortunately, his good intentions and moist-eyed empathy are derailed with Amtrak-like regularity by his almost pathological need to be liked by all factions and by his attempts to turn every situation to his political advantage. Thus, he can support campaign finance reform while selling White House policy to the highest bidder, decry China's human rights record while granting them favored trade status, and feel our pain while slashing welfare and food stamps. This guy is a limping contradiction. He wants it both ways more often than Dennis Rodman. And you know, in spite of every paradox, Clinton's popularity continues to rise. The man can do no wrong. It's astounding. I mean, Christ, he makes Ronald Reagan look like Steve Buscemi. Let's face it, we as Americans are inexplicably attracted and attached to this guy. Of course he's not innocent of all the scandals he's been tied to. He's far from perfect, and we just don't know if we should trust him. But we keep sticking with him, hoping he'll eventually change. You know, in a nutshell, we're all Hillary. The truth about Bill Clinton is that he has an infallible internal leveling bubble that makes him the perfect politician. He has a wonderful way of making you feel as if you're the only person in the room, unless, of course, you're in an orgy with him. And maybe all that he's really guilty of is using that impressive power to craft himself into the president we want and need, someone who's a reflection of our own flawed self-image. Poll after poll shows that even though Americans find Clinton's character reprehensible, they think he's doing a fine job, which translates to, yeah, he's an unbelievable sleazebag, but the economy's good. You know, we might not like what Clinton does, but he is a larger-than-life manifestation of the compromises and concessions we all have to make and the lies we all have to tell ourselves every day so that we can keep going. Cynical? You betcha. But fuck it, my stocks are going through the roof. You know, disgusting. And you know something? Disgusting as I may find certain aspects of Bill Clinton's character, I have to confess admiration for his astonishing resilience. Our president extricates himself from the most difficult situations with an ability that is nothing short of James Bondian. No matter how bad it looks for him, he always winds up escaping in the lifeboat with a gorgeous babe, a perfectly chilled bottle of Perrier Jouet, and a big side order of chili fries. Yeehaw! Of course, that's just my opinion.